Good afternoon, everyone. This is our fourth video in our series on what God is like and who he is. The past couple of videos, we talked about God, who God was, what makes up his character. But now I want to talk about one of his often overlooked attributes, and that is jealousy. You see, jealousy, and sometimes for good reason, often gets a bad rap. When we think of jealousy, we might think of a jealous ex-girlfriend or a jealous coworker vying for our job or title, but it's much different when we talk about God's jealousy. In fact, there's 35 passages where God is described as a jealous God. The most well-known one, though, is Exodus 20, 4 through 5, which says where God is disturbing. He's describing the Ten Commandments to Moses. And it's written, "You shall not make yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath and that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them, for I, the Lord, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers of the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me." You see, God's jealousy directly stems from the worship of idols and false gods. And we have to note how this is different from envy. You see, envy is a sin. Envy is the act of wanting something that does not belong to you, wanting something that is not yours. While often used interchangeably, jealousy and envy are actually very different things. So God is in fact jealous for us because we are his. We belong to him. And so when we worship idols of power or fortune or politics or some other false god, he is angry. He is jealous because we have abandoned our creator. There are countless verses where God describes his people as his children, such as in verse John 3, or we are God's holy chosen people in Deuteronomy. In Romans 8, we are described as heirs to the kingdom of God. In Genesis, we find that we are created in God's image. And so we are given worth. We are giving all of these things because we are made in the image of God to serve God and created by God. So imagine if the circumstances were flipped. Would you not be jealous as well? You see, God created all of humankind to worship him and find their delight and joy in him. And so when we, like sheep that have gone astray to leave green pastures, to be persuaded by big bad wolves masquerading as shepherds, of course God is going to be jealous. What else do we expect from him? Not just for his sake, but for our sake as well. Because Jesus says, our Father in heaven knows what you need. He knows what you need. And he knows that false idols only lead to ruin. It's his unfailing love for us that forces him to be jealous for our sake and to fight for our attention and our love and our adoration so that he can put us on the right track and we can worship what we were ultimately created to worship. And so remember, when we go astray and when we put other things before God, God is a jealous God. He's fighting for our attention. He's fighting to wake us up and call us back to our original purpose for creation. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. Next week, we are going to be studying God's holiness and righteousness and what that means.